Hello, everyone. Hopefully, we have a few of the participants joining me today. I want to discuss about time management. I noticed there were a couple of students asking me for tricks and tips, so I thought it could be a great idea for us to discuss it today. I'll allow it another minute or two and see if someone else is joining, but I cannot wait to get started. Okay. Also, if you have any questions, you can start interacting with me and other participants in the chat. I know that you usually have really shy participants, but I'd love to get your questions so we can discuss a little further. All right, let's get started. As you probably know, time management, especially in the wedding industry, it's really important, not only because of the high stakes, but also because all the tasks that we have are deadline driven. They have that deadline driven nature. And I think we can say that our work, our performance, our marketing will depend on how time efficient we are. So it's also a great way to show our experience and how we operate as a business. So not only that, of course, this will help you to reduce some kind of stress, improve this client satisfaction, like we said, stop the guesswork and increase this overall efficiency. So it would kind of allow you to juggle more tasks and ensure that nothing falls through the cracks, which usually happens when we get really busy and especially when we're running a business. So let's discuss these main points that I have for more effective time management. My first one, and it's one of the most important ones, in my opinion, is setting clear goals. This is not only clear, but also achievable goals and managing how much time this will take, being realistic. So we'll need to define what we want to accomplish each day or each week or each month, depending on how you structure your work. Then we're going to be breaking those down, these large projects, into smaller and manageable tasks. And as I said, also be conscious of the time that each of those tasks take so we can avoid frustration and also manage expectations with our clients, right? That's an important one. This will give you a clear roadmap and help you stay focused on your priorities. My second my second tip is prioritizing the tasks. And I recommend a matrix that I'm going to show in a second to categorize it in four quadrants, right? This might look easy, but actually it isn't so much. So I'll show you. So we have the urgent and important tasks. Then we have the important tasks, but no so urgent. Then we have the urgent tasks, but are not as important. And then we have the last ones, which are not urgent and are not that important either. So this is a great way to organize our tasks and also know what we could schedule, what could delegate, what we need to do ASAP, and what isn't really needed or maybe or eventually delegate them if they become a little bit more important later on. Please make sure you understand that this can change over time. So we can do a list of tasks or projects today and then notice that a task is not urgent but important. And that could become urgent and important, or it could be not urgent and not important and become important later on. So we need to make sure we keep this dynamic and we reassess this from time to time. Sorry. So one of my favorites, as you probably know, I know that I have a couple of participants that already know how I work, and this is my favorite, which is leveraging technology to streamline these processes and improve the time management, right? So we want to be able to streamline your workflows, and you'll have many workflows. Some of them will be manageable automatically. Some of them, unfortunately, will not be needed. But then this is when you get to see if it's something that you could potentially delegate now or in the future. So we're going to be using project management tools like Asana or Trello to help you keep track of these tasks and deadlines and keep track of the resources that you need in case you need to ask for some or in case you need to keep them in one place. This is the best way to do it. Then we're going to check which ones of these workflows are able to be automated, and let's try to work on that. We already talked about how we could automate business processes, so I invite you to have a look at that video. But basically, I recommend using tools such as Zapier or Dubsado to onboard clients or connect a tool with the next tool, email marketing, onboarding and offboarding, invoicing, proposals, and all that sort of things. Those things are easily manageable automatically. So take advantage of it. And another one is use this calendar to block what I call super focus times so you can avoid distractions. And let's talk about a little bit more about these blocks and creating a daily schedule, because that's something that will help you manage the resources that you have for that day, and also it will help you to schedule your week and schedule your month and have a better and clear plan of what you need to do in a long or short term. So I invite you to create a daily schedule to allocate these specific time blocks for each task, or maybe for a client. It doesn't have to be a task, so we don't do it. It doesn't become too cluttered. So we can say, or I personally do, every morning I take care of this client, or I have blocks of morning and afternoon. So it's easier for me to block these super focused times and organize them a little better. In that way, you can also improve these client expectations of when they're expecting for a result from you. It's really easy to predict that once you are a little bit more organized. Another important thing is being realistic. I know I mentioned this before, but I think it's really important to be realistic about the time that you'll need for each task. And also be a little gracious with buffer times before and after, just for unexpected interruptions, especially if you work from home and you have other people in the house. I think it's really important to allow yourself a few minutes before and after, or even within that block, having a phone call, getting something delivered, doing laundry, those kind of tasks that it might take 5 minutes, but then it will affect your overall plan at the end of the day. So make sure you also keep that in mind, as well as the time, realistic time that will take you to complete a task. And once you have that a little bit more organized and be friendly and kind to yourself when planning, make sure you stick to this schedule as closely as possible to maintain this productive workflow, which, believe me, this will make a massive change in how productive your business could be. My other tip is delegating tasks. And I know that we have a few students that struggle with that. And trust me, I do as well. So sometimes it's a little tricky to work with this one, but delegating tasks is essential for effective time management. You'll be able to first identify those tasks that can be handled by a team or outsourced. Like we said, in those quadrants, you'll be able to know which ones could be outsourced and which of those that you're currently doing that could be potentially outsourced in the future. So you start creating all these SOPs, all these processes, gathering all day resources for that person to be able to do it in the future. It's really, really interesting how those things play out in the future. Okay, I think you guys can hear me still. Just heard like an error message somewhere. All right, sorry. Okay, so let's go back to delegating. So another one is trust this team that you hire, or this people that you outsource, these professionals they outsourced. Make sure you provide clear instructions to ensure that these tasks are completed to your standards. Be sure you set up clear expectations, such as deadlines, such as ultimately the end result. So those things are clear from the beginning. And when that's done, you'll be able to allow yourself to focus on high priority tasks and avoid burnout, which, trust me, I'm sure we all been there at one point. So don't be scared of doing it. I know, and as a business owner myself, I consider my business like my baby. So it's more like finding the right nanny to your baby, right? So make sure you spend time looking for the best fit. You don't need to hire the first one that comes to you. Make sure you nurture that person, you train them, you provide them with all these resources that they need to be productive and proactive in your team, and that will help you big time. Basically, it's going to be fantastic, I'm sure. Another tip is I think it's a common misconception, especially around women, they're multitasking. There's a popular belief that multitasking can help you stay on top of everything, and unfortunately, that's not true. Multitasking actually decreases productivity. It's hard to keep everything in mind. You might be able to, but first, you don't have to. And second, you want to focus on your zone of genius, especially as we are creative professionals. We want to make sure that the things that are not a good fit for our skill set can be outsourced to the right person, and we can stay in not only our zone of genius, but also we enjoy doing, because that's why one of the reasons why we build our business, our wedding businesses. So make sure you focus on one task at a time to ensure you complete it efficiently and to your high standards, right? This approach will, I'm sure, will reduce a lot of errors and even improve the quality of your work, and people will start noticing it even more. All right, so the next one is taking breaks. And it's one that honestly I feel a little embarrassed to share because this is one that I struggle a lot with taking breaks during the day. I get so much into my zone, and when I understand a task and I understand what I need to do, when I can see the end result, it takes me a lot of energy to actually stop and focus on something else. But it's very much needed because it's crucial for maintaining this productivity, believe it or not. These short breaks throughout the day can help you recharge and stay focused. You probably know about this Pomodoro technique, which involves basically working for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. I recommend trying it out, see how that works out for your schedule, for your priorities, and please contact me. Let me know how that works. I'm really interested because I'm one of those that struggles to take those breaks. And when I do see the benefit, but I still struggle to make that a routine. And my last and not least um, tip is that at the end of each day or week or month or even a year, make sure you review and reflect. This is something that we might not do as often. This is one of the things that we usually forget or we postpone until it doesn't really get done. So make sure you review these accomplishments and reflect on what worked well and what could be improved in your time management new skills that you have now. This is something really dynamic, so it could work 1 month, maybe the next month doesn't work as much. So we need to start reviewing that work and adjusting accordingly. We need to make sure we're dynamic, and just because it worked 1 month or 2 months doesn't mean it will work forever. So we need to keep improving our processes, our even if it's personal processes, to make sure we're always up to date to our expectations and the needs of or what we're envisioning as an end result. Adjust these strategies accordingly and make sure you enhance your time management skills from time to time. And today was pretty short because I kind of wanted to share really actionable steps. So I invite you to take note of this, start practicing, let me know how that worked for you and see how we can start adjusting and reviewing and reflecting. And if we don't have any questions, what I'm going to do is when I post this video on social media, YouTube, and especially on Facebook, our Facebook community, I want to know how this is working out for you because I feel like this is something that collectively can improve and we can help each other. We're not competition. We're here to help each other and support each other. So I do want to hear your thoughts. I do want to know if you have any other tricks that you can share with the community. If you have anything else that you'd like to share, if you have any cool experiences that you want us to know about. And I want to hear you. I'm noticing that we have a few of the students being a bit too shy, and I'd love to connect with you all. So, yes, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to your comments and answers and questions, of course. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon all.